So, if I had my computer, I would actually play this clip because I wanted to make this clip with footage that because I watch the History Channel and I read a lot of history books, and my computer has a lot of that on there. Anyways, it was about the Vietnam War. There was a famous quote from uh, the two generals that were fighting each other. The American general, obviously the Vietnamese general was talking smack. So the American general said, "Well, we won all the battles. We won the war." The Vietnamese general said, "Yes, you won the battles, but we were not fighting the same war." You see, there is, and I can make this really sweet and simple. There is this reoccurring thing, and it's recent. It's only two. You have Vietnam and you have Afghanistan, and it's two. Twice this has happened, not a third time. And if I have anything to say about it, it will not be a third time. Um, Twice this has happened. America comes in, decimates the enemy, but because of the media and because of enemy infiltration, America cannot lay the coup de grace, the death blow, the finishing touch. You see, in every war, Germany, Japan, Britain, the natives, Mexico, all of them. Every war America has ever fought, the moment it starts to get prolonged, they force the enemy to resign their sovereignty over to American authority. Whether that be in the form of a peace treaty, or whether that be in the form of relinquishing of land, at the end of the day, our enemies know that. Okay, every country has its own unique way of delivering a finishing blow. Okay, but with our country, we have, well, one track on how we deliver a finishing blow. It's one track. It's not multiple. It's one track. China has multiple. Um, Same thing with Russia, but ours it's very straightforward. We come in with the military, we lay waste, we take names and kick ass. Simple as that. But normally, if it wasn't for all of that other stuff, the enemy would just say, "Oh, we give up." Well, what ends up happening is that as the enemy ends up realizing that can, the enemy realizes that they can't fight uh, uh, their opponent on front. So they go in back to undermine while they hold out. You see, we won Vietnam, we won Afghanistan, but what ended up happening is that the Afghanis and the Vietnamese held out. They waited for enough uh, for enough instability to happen uh, um, in on American soil, for enough anti-military propaganda, for enough social unrest to take place. They wait for that instability to take hold. And then eventually, in doing so, America has to pull up its soldiers back. Before the opponent says and signs that fine-tuned paper saying we submit. You see, it's as simple as that. So they hold off from saying surrender until we pull back. It's the same exact thing that happened to Hannibal Barca and Rome. Same thing with Carthage and Rome. Hannibal went in to Rome, decimated the place, conquered the place, but the Romans would not capitulate. And you combine the fact that the Romans would not capitulate with the fact that there was a lack of political support for Hannibal in Carthage, and you end up having the fact that he was undermined. Okay? Nobody compares to the raw military might that America has. Nobody. I mean, some people will go about Russia and China, and kudos to Russia and China, but at the end of the day, they are trying to rival American military. They're trying to make sure that they are a match. So by that very definition, you know who your competition is. So they're trying to overcompensate for who they have to stand on equal footing with. So like I said, nobody compares to military might because nobody scares the shit out of other countries like America does. The fact that is, you can get other countries to where the mere presence of you causes them to want to invest in their military and become martial by nature, means you scare the shit out of a lot of nations. Okay, because there's a lot of nations that are just like, shit, we don't want to deal with that. Okay, now, like I said, Afghanistan, we won the war. What happened was, thanks to media, thanks to social unrest, the enemy just sat there, waited, didn't capitulate, didn't do anything, and eventually they just don't want to admit it. But other than that, we won. We killed their leader, multiple. Now, not only did we kill multiple of their leaders, but pretty much we just downsized them beyond all reckoning. Not only did we kill their terrorist leaders, but we also remodeled their infrastructure. Pretty much. All what they had to do was just sign a paper signing over their sovereignty, and it would have been, that's it. It already was. That's all what they had to do is just sign that paper. And you would have ended up having a situation of North Afghanistan and South Afghanistan. That's what you would end up happening. But again, like I said, I read a lot of military books. I had them in my storage. And I watch a lot of military history. So, right off the bat, for all of the people that are educated and do understand, don't look at this like, oh, this or that or that or this. No. Look at it from this perspective. Because there will be a next time. But look at it from this perspective. Recognize who's who. Because this is old tactics. Like I said, I referenced this straight back to Rome and Carthage. This is old tactics. It's not new. It's old. So don't look at it and say, "Oh well, so and so didn't do this, or so and so uh, didn't do that." No, no. Just look at it from this one simple perspective. They may not have said, and they may not have signed over their sovereignty. They may not have signed over a peace treaty. But at the end of the day, all you gotta do is look at one particular aspect. Like I said, we won, and we changed the landscape over there. So much so that the very citizens in that country do not want us to leave because they're used to our reign over there. And they don't want to go back. You can look at it from that perspective. Just because the enemy didn't want to sign over their sovereignty and relinquish their authority, that doesn't change the physical aspects of what is. The reality is, people are clamoring to get on planes because they're used to our reign, a 20-year long reign. That's all you gotta do is look at it from that perspective. Doesn't matter if they signed over or not. What matters is that is physically it was already gone. Whether they want to admit it or not, it's already there. Look at it from this perspective. Just think of it like this. You kick somebody's ass and they want to go stand up and pretend like they didn't get their ass kicked. But everybody else around there knows exactly what happened. And that's all you have to look at it from that perspective. You don't be so focused on getting the person to say they quit. Look at the bruises and the scars that you left on their body. And then look at their denial. Look at it from that perspective. We won. And they were powerless, and they know it. Powerless to stop us from bombing them. Powerless to stop us from changing their infrastructure. And they know it. Whether they want to admit it or not. Doesn't matter if they sign over their sovereignty. It doesn't matter if they make a peace treaty or not. It doesn't matter what they admit to. What matters is they were at our mercy. That is a fact. They were at our mercy. And if it wasn't for social unrest, if it wasn't for anti-military media, they would still be at our mercy. And they know it. Ain't nothing gonna change that. Whether they want to admit it or not. They're at our mercy. And their leaders died by our soldiers. It's as simple as that.